Hey, everybody. It's the Monday Not So Live show. It's the last show of the year. Cheryl, thank you so much for getting ready on short notice. Dave and I really appreciate it.
I'm sure Dave and I both had the rush to get ready early so we could record early for you, Matt.
Dave,
both of us hair and makeup.
Dave, how long does it take you to do your hair?
5 minutes. Brush in the shower, right out, boom, done.
I spend about 45 seconds, but this morning, 0. Because we're still on holiday. Because we're still on holiday, right?
Yeah, still on holiday.
Cheryl, you could come as you are. It would be fine, but I know you have a certain standard for yourself, and that's I respect it.
You don't know what that means. And honestly, Monday after a holiday, after getting my kids out of here, I was in the worst shape possible, the absolute worst shape possible. So,
how many people stayed at your house?
It was only 3 this time, but it was kind of a lot. Like, I'm just not used to it. I got my rhythm. My rhythm was broken.
You say only 3. To me, that feels like Christmas vacation. That feels like a house full of people. Like only 3. My number of guests is 0 if you don't count my daughter, who's
Yeah.
Right.
No, just keeping everybody happy and doing all the stuff. It was great to see everyone. I'm very much looking forward to getting back to my routine. So, and I was a mess this morning. I had sat down before you texted and I thought, I'm going to make myself a nice big breakfast. And I'm right in the middle of breakfast. And then you're like, hey, you want to record? So I put myself together.
Well, listen, I thought, let's get ahead of it. None of us are probably actually working.
Nope. Brilliant.
And then we get the rest of the year off, Cheryl.
I know.
I give you the rest of the year off.
Thank you.
Your holiday bonus will be appropriate.
Okay. Perfect.
Dave, you're still on holiday.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm until the 5th.
Anybody staying at your house?
No, we're like isolated. We've seen nobody for like 2 weeks. Just Ryan, I, and the dog for 2 weeks.
Yeah, people always do that, whether they're friends or the barista is just like, oh, any plans for the holidays? And I just say the same thing every fucking time, no matter what the holidays. I'm like, yeah, we're low key. I say that every time to everything. There's never anything going on. The goal is low key. That's the goal.
I would have went to my brother's on Boxing Day because we had a little get together there, but just weather not cooperating and not worth it.
But for you, how bad does the weather have to be? How many feet of snow?
It's not the feet of snow, it's the visibility in the ice. It's like you can't see while you're driving. Just, way less stress to just sit on the couch and watch hockey.
Do you put chains on?
No, you're not allowed.
You're not allowed? Is it because of the roads?
Yeah, you got to go a little further north to put on studded tires and chains.
Okay.
So explain that to me, because I know that when I lived in Boston, people would do that.
Yeah, it's so hard on the roads. Like if you keep studded tires on dry roads.
Did he freeze or did we all freeze? What happened?
I think he froze. It's frozen up there. It's Canada.
It's a very concerned face for Dave. I'm gonna chop that. I just screenshotted it because that's such a great, very concerned Dave face. He'll be back eventually. Yeah. So we can start talking about. I know you wanted to talk about. Yeah, he's coming back. Here we go. Hey there.
There we go. Don't know what happened there.
It got so cold that you froze.
Yeah, it did, obviously. But yeah, so just certain distance north you have to have the chains and the studded tires because it's so hard on the roads. It just tears them off. Well,
I do have quite a bit going on here, and so I may have to hop off for temporarily, but you guys are very chatty. It'll be fine. But I know Cheryl's excited to talk about, I'm building this, I'm pointing that way, this studio in my backyard. And it's been quite the adventure, Dave. And, I'm not a handy guy. So I need help every step of the way. And I just feel like I lucked out. Like I really lucked out with the guy that I got because, you start with, okay, who knows people, right? That can take on a big, expensive project. I don't want to get ripped off. I want to get it started. And it's like, this person's great, but they're not available because they're tied up with some other massive job because they're really good, right? So, and our income goes up and down. So do we have the funds in the bank? Like, so everything lined up perfectly for starting in December for this guy. And I
Just keep going.
I thankfully have my friend Chat to ask every step of the way. And Chat is like, he's doing great, like ahead of the curve. So we're on day, I think 14 all in, and the thing is like 75% built because he doesn't work Sundays and he took one day off for weather and he took Christmas off, and the thing is coming along very, very well. The never-ending amount of expenses, though, has been overwhelming, right? Like just the idea of like, well, you like if you want these things, right? You don't have to have these things, but if you want HVAC, right? Like you gotta buy that thing. Oh, and the plumbing, by the way, is like we're gonna pay him separately. Again, like I've asked Chat, I'm paying a fair rate for all of this stuff, but the amount of stuff that's been delivered from Home Depot and Amazon has been pretty. I got one of those Home Depot Pro accounts, Dave. They're gonna start giving me stuff after I spend a certain amount of money. That's exciting.
Nice. Now you can use their vans.
What's that?
Go use their rental van.
It's just. I think you got to spend $2,500, and I was like, oh well, I did that in a day, right? Just like so it's called a mini split. Cheryl, do you know what a mini split is?
No, tell me about this.
So
I would love to have this.
It's an all-in-one HVAC, right? So it's you stick it on the wall, and it's like when if you stay in England, right? You've probably seen they have just the heat version, but they don't have AC come out of it, and it's just a little fan basically, and then outside is the unit. So that was, I think, $900. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like nothing comes cheap. And again, Chat is so great because it's like, hey, Chat, I found the same exact thing for $300 less on this website. And it's like, okay, you could gamble, but if one thing goes wrong with it, you are fucked. So spend it. And I think for a guy like me, who overanalyzes this stuff and can spend all day, like I do the same thing with flights and hotels. I spend way too much time. Is the question that I ask it mostly, which I would ask like a person, right? If Dave was around, I was like, Dave, can you help me for an hour? And I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions. But like, hey, is spending like a cheap, middle, a little bit more expensive, most expensive? Like, is the gap between middle and most, is it going to make a difference, right? And some things it's absolutely, it's 5 years or it's this many problems. Sometimes it's nope, that's unneeded. You're going to be fine with X. Those are the kind of things that I kind of constantly ask it back and forth.
Yeah.
And you're settling on, it sounds like, spending a little more.
Absolutely.
For peace of mind.
Absolutely.
That's been my experience. That if you spend the money, it just goes better, I think.
Well, as we like, you pay cheap, you pay twice. Like that one, I've known that for a really long time, but there still can be a gap, I think, between kind of medium and most, right? Or medium, a little more than medium and medium. Dave, you know what I'm talking about.
You just want to avoid paying for a name. You want to get the best quality possible without paying specifically for a brand name.
Right. And I think that's where, again, Chat will help and say, this brand is the great, we went big on paint. We spent kind of the most money you can on paint, and I'm okay with it because that's going to I want it to look good and I want it to last a really long time.
Yeah.
The thing is, when you spend more, you generally end up happy. You might be unhappy at the beginning spending so much, but usually since you get the quality, you're like, okay, I'm all right. I'm good.
Right. But I think in the past, I might have thought that just the one up from the cheapest might be good enough. But if you can get so much more bang for your buck at the next price jump, that's kind of where I've been landing.
And you're paying someone to build this too, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So it adds up fast.
No. It's been something I've wanted for a really long time. And so that's kind of what I keep coming back to is like, this is, and if we ever move, we could sell the place for more, but I kind of have said, I want to die in this house. Like, I don't really want to move ever again. So.
Well, you're getting it just how you want it. Why would you move?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly.
I would expect some regular content about the progress of this studio.
I think people love that stuff. I don't think they would love it from me.
Just a little bit. I just think I think it's cool. I think it's cool. So
So I have a friend, a guy I've known a really long time. His name's Cole, and he has like this massive piece of property, and he started doing that stuff. And he's like, "Hey, I found this fucking stump, and every time I come by it, I need to get rid of it. Let's take out this stump." And I watched a fucking 5-minute video of him taking out the stump. Dave, what do you call that thing that kind of pumps it out of the ground?
Oh, I have no idea. I don't know anything about stump removal.
Okay, really?
Dave.
I mean, dude, you ask me to pull one out, I'll figure out how to do it. But
All right, so there's a thing. It kind of looks like a pump jack, and it kind of does it. And then when he got it out, he needed to get the barbed wire off it. And why did I watch him do that? I don't know. People are fascinated by those kind of how-to things. But again, I'm busy enough making fucking hybrid shit. I just don't think people. I think the occasional video for me is fine. I don't think it's
okay.
People love to watch DIY and how you did it. And if my job wasn't already making stuff about running in circles at convention centers, I might do it.
Yeah. Well, I would equate it to watching people kind of building their home gyms. I think I just kind of like to see what's being added and what what it's going to look like. That's all.
Right.
So,
Well,
and I think about like home gym equipment, like you talk about spending money, there is a point where the money stops being worth it, right? Like finding that sweet spot, I think is, I don't know. Anyway, this feels a little bit like that, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I can show you I do show my home gym back there.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, that's been my holiday break. But also, Emma's home. She passed her driver's license, which she failed the first time.
Excellent.
So massive win. So we're giving her this old car we have, and I'm spending another chunk of change, like getting new tires on it. And again, like this is where I asked chat, like, hey, like, where's the sweet spot there? Right? Hang on one second.
Dave, I am seriously considering investing in gym equipment at my house now. So I'm kind of looking at stuff. Like I'm thinking about, I think it's Samantha Faddis who has that nice little strip along the side of her house for sled push. I'm thinking about having one of those things built. So we're getting there.
All right. Well, let me know because I want one of those too. By the way, I don't have my microphone, so if you're talking, I'm going to hear you. Just tell my wife.
Okay.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, like the sweet spot. Like, hey, I want to buy tires. What's the safest? Does the name, like, where does the name, like exactly what you're talking about? And then I was like, hey, I'm going to buy them. Like, should I go to this place? And it's like, this place is called like Discount Tire. Isn't that cheap? It's like, they're not cheap for these reasons, but here's the best thing you can do. I ordered them from a place, right? And they send it to the place. And so that's kind of and it actually said like, if this was my daughter, that's how I would do it. Like, even though it's not a real person, it's like, if this is the safety you're concerned about, right? Here's why it's better. Again, I don't know shit about shit. So it's like, here's why it's better. It's going to be better on braking. It's going to be 20 feet faster if it's slipping in the rain. And speaking of which, the guy that's come, I got to go talk to this guy. So I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right. Your gym equipment, you have nothing there?
I currently have all my RAMs. I've got a sled that I use. I have used it on my street before. And then I'm also using it on my back patio, and it's just not ideal. And I think it's time to just bite the bullet and get a decent swath to be able to do that. Plus, I mean, look, there's nothing wrong with a paved path in your yard anyway. It's going to be value added regardless, but just getting something that's a little more useful. I've had a lot of gym drama lately. I currently hold 3 gym memberships, Dave. I'm that indecisive about where I want to go. And so I've just decided that my house might actually be a really good solution since nothing seems to hit it. It is really hard to find a well-appointed gym in Las Vegas.
I have found one, but it's not in Las Vegas. But just while I'm up where we're at, we've actually been going to Cole Learn's gym.
Well, of course, that's going to be good, right? He's
It's
going to have all the
fantastic.
stuff.
It is fantastic, and it's in his teeny tiny town, but it's such a good gym. Yeah, so that's why I've been able to try so much stuff lately. You know, he's got
Yeah.
everything, so I can just go and whip up a sim and try this and see what it's like. Try this, see what that's like.
So it's just like a big open space. You can set up your own workouts. I find a lot of gyms here will only do classes, right? Like they really don't allow for me to just sort of show up. And so that's why I'm having to come up with solutions on my own. So
granted, the home gym thing was still best. Like that's the only thing I miss from downsizing is having that dining room gym we had, which was amazing. But we are working on next season having that outdoors, so sort of covered up. But yeah, Cole's gym has been great. It's been really cool. And yeah, it's got the open area, kind of one area that would look like a CrossFit box, right? But big. And then another area that's more your equipment and like, you know, regular lifting stuff, a lot of lifting machines, not a lot of stuff. So it's got a bit of everything. So
that's nice. That's
really good.
And you just kind of pay a monthly fee or whatever, or do you just pay for drop-in?
Yeah, right now just for drop-ins, just because we'll see how it goes and stuff. But yeah, it's really good, and they got like heavy sandbags, which is nice.
Yeah. So you did that World Fitness Project. That was your Saturday workout where you wanted to try. You wanted to try that.
Yeah, I call them my anything can happen Saturdays.
Right. Which I think is really impressive. But the thing that impresses me more is the stuff you take on. Like, explain this workout that you did on Saturday.
So it's their Project One, and they call it Project One, and I'm trying to get more information on it because I don't know if this is going to be a mass participation thing. They're going to host it there when they hold their bigger events, or if this is just a benchmark workout. Or what is? I actually sent them a message, and they have replied with at least the right person to contact. So I messaged them on Instagram, and they say, "Hey, cool, thanks for reaching out. Email these people; they'll give you all the info." Sadly, I haven't heard back, but I literally just emailed them this morning. So basically it I'll see if I can find it, but there's a lot, there's like 600-800 meter runs.
Okay.
Then there is
let me see. I asked you about it. I think I sent you the workout.
I'm trying to see if I had the picture of the whole layout. Okay, yeah, I got it here. All right. Here we go.
Okay.
So you started with, I'll say the men's weights, the men's stuff, even though I did the women's, same one the women did at the World Fitness Project finals.
Okay.
And for me, I was happy to pull that off. So, all right, for men, 60 calorie Concept 2 bike, followed by an 800 meter run into a 400 meter 400 feet farmer carry, which is about 125 meters.
Okay. I thought it was 400 meters when you first sent it, and I thought that was ridiculous.
And it is odd that their thing, they kind of go from calories to meters to feet and all over the place. So
yeah,
anyway,
yeah. They probably should clean that up.
Yeah. So 400 meter farmer carry, which is close to 125 meters. For the men, that's 100 pounds in each end. All right, maybe Matt wants. Here, Matt, we're going through the Project One.
The workout you did on Saturday.
Project One workout.
Can I just quickly tell you what an amazing job this guy did? So we had the car detailed, okay, and this was the headlights before.
Okay.
I mean, the kid was out there for like 3 hours. I could literally see it when I opened my front door. I could see the sun shining on it, and I could tell the difference. I mean, and I don't think the pictures even do it justice. But he was out there forever, and he used some fucking agricultural thing to, like, that thing it's a 20-year-old car, and like, we've had a lot of things fixed in it. So, and it's a Toyota, so it rides fine, but like, she couldn't see at night. So anyway, the answer is, for peace of mind, spend inordinate amounts of money, whatever that money is, on your kid, if you care about them, right? Like, my son's up here be like, you'll figure it out. Emma's like precious cargo, you know. Anyway, just kidding.
We have a motto in our family: kids are expensive. As soon as you just accept that, then everything goes better.
Do you want to know? You want to know an even bigger tip, Cheryl?
What?
Wives are really expensive.
Yeah, but we're worth it.
So it's wives and kids are really expensive.
I am of the opinion that everybody's first car should be a bit of a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like, there should be some stress involved in getting there with every adventure in your first car.
Well, listen, like I said, it's a 20-year-old car. We are
Yeah,
not
and that's
buying,
good. That's good.
we're
I've
not
seen it.
buying.
I've seen it. That's okay. That's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
But yeah,
Um,
like it should be. It should
but
be
it
kind of like
needed, but we improved its safety like X% with you can actually see at night versus
that's okay.
yeah. So anyway,
But I remember
I agree.
As a kid, as a 16-year-old, I remember having to sometimes push mine to get it to start. Going into farmers' houses in the middle of the night because it just stopped and we needed to get home. Just good adventures.
But I feel like, Dave, with the advent of Americans hardly ever have stick shifts anymore. So that whole thing of the push down the hill, like I have to park on a hill so I can start it. Like I think that's gone. At one point, my key broke off on the inside, and so I started it with a screwdriver.
Yep.
And you just leave the screwdriver in the seat, and people would say, "Aren't you worried about people stealing it?" And I'm like, "Who wants to steal a 1978 whatever that? I don't even remember what it was now, Corolla, right? Why would you steal that car?" And you would have to open the door to know that it needed a screwdriver to start it. So,
I have my van, but I still have my daily driver is a stick shift.
Okay, but like I said, it's a dying thing. I don't know in America, overseas, lots of stick shifts. Over here, none.
Yeah, a lost art.
All right. So moving on from me, let's talk about Project One.
All right.
So we'll go through it starting. So World Fitness Project, they're like not a competitor to CrossFit.
Totally different.
Totally different. Anyway, but they have their events, and then they have this Project One, which I'm still not sure if it's going to be like a mass participation thing, if it's just like a benchmark workout, if it's just for the elites, if they're going to scale it, what they're going to do with it.
So I thought at each event there was a thing called Project One that was also open, because remember there was a workout that was like, I thought like just like rowing and running or something, and like, oh, we can do that.
Yeah. So this one that I'm not sure if they did this one, and I didn't see the second event. I saw the first event and I saw the finals, and they did this one in the finals as one of the events. So basically we were going through, it was 60 calorie for men, 50 calorie for women bike. All right. Concept 2 bike. So not an assault bike, 800 meter run, 400 foot farmer carry, 100 pounds in each hand for women, or for men, 70 pounds in each hand for men. 400 feet is about 125 meters. Then another 800 meter run. Then a 60 calorie ski for men, 50 for women. Another 800 meter run. 60 sandbag box step overs with 100 pounds for men, 70 pounds for women.
Are the runs on a treadmill or are the runs?
So at the event they did that I saw on their finals, they were running. So it was run.
Like on a track, like shuttle runs?
It was like a run throughout the building.
Okay.
Yeah. So
how high is the box, Dave?
20 inches.
Okay.
Yeah. 20 inches. So yeah, I was worried about that too. After the box, another 800 meter run, then a 60/50 calorie row, 800 meter run, 400 foot bear hug sandbag carry, which is 100 pounds for a woman, 150 pounds for men, and then finish with another 800 meter run. Time cap was 55 minutes. So, and
you made it under the time cap, which I'm pretty impressed.
I did the women's weights from the finals. I was 48 minutes, right around there, which would have placed me dead last, substantially dead last, but under the time cap. So I was happy with that. And I did have to run on a treadmill, but I ran on one of the assault treadmills, which I personally find much harder than running on a regular treadmill or on the ground.
Can I pull it up? Is it on? Like, is it?
Yeah, if you go to World Fitness Project, it should be there. Even if you just Google World Fitness Project, Project One, it should be one of the first things.
That's how I got it.
Okay, I typed WFP Project One and it didn't come up.
All right. But anyway, so the point was to test it out. And just in case this might be a thing that they're having more people do. First off, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, it wasn't my favorite.
Go ahead.
It's got some tunes going. If you break it down into various stations, basically, you have 6 800 meter runs, then you have 3 ergs for 60 calories each, and then you basically have 3 lifting / resistance, whatever you want to call them, stations. To me, I didn't like that split. It was just, there was too much, like basically too much cardio, not enough lifting, which really surprised me for for this. Now, when you do the lifts, they're bloody heavy, right? Like those step overs were a nightmare. Now, I mean, it just kept trucking along with them, but they were not fast.
So here's my question about that. So LT has step overs, much lighter, but some people were getting really good at not standing all the way up. They would keep their knees nice and bent, right? You're just sort of pivoting over that box. But with that kind of weight, I'm thinking that would be really, really hard to do.
It was. I did that. I stayed low. Well, I'm going to say stayed in the medium range. And it was harder, but it was quicker and to me felt less fatiguing than standing all the way up and coming back down.
Using all those muscles to get yourself up.
Yeah. Can I interrupt real quick? Because I really want to find this so I can show some people. Is it morning? Is it night? That's all I'm finding. Day one morning, World Fitness Finals.
I believe it was in the morning of day 2.
The final stop.
Yeah. Morning of day 2 at the end. So anyway, it just, and then the farmer carry, right? It's not a very exciting station. The sandbag step overs, those are hard. Those probably stay. And the bear hug sandbag carry, I was hard. That was heavy and it was hard to carry. It was much harder to carry it in front than it was to carry on my shoulder, to put it up to the shoulder and carry it. So I
think if you're only going to essentially have 3 strength stations, having one of them be farmer carry and have it be the first thing.
Yeah. And it was still good. It was interesting. The back-to-back, so you're doing, bike, then run, then farmer carry, then run, then ski, then run. And it's just like a lot, boom, boom, boom in a row. And it just, the rhythm wasn't my favorite. I liked the heaviness of it, but I also don't think many people, if they are going to mass participate it's too heavy for most people. And I would not have got through the men's in the time cap. No way.
It seems maybe they want it to be prohibitive, right? Maybe they want it to be where most people can't do it.
It could be they have a scaled version that they're going to have a lot of people do. Who knows? And maybe they'll change the stations for the lifting and stuff. I would have liked a little more of the stations. It's just, it wasn't enough of those. I expected more. But a good workout. I mean, I got a good workout.
That's 48 minutes that's a lot of work. I mean, you had to push that, especially on an assault runner. So anyway.
Well, I'm just learning how to run on those. They're terrible. I hope to get better, but wow, it's awkward to start.
So getting ready for LT, I made myself stay on those things. And I never got used to it. And I never liked it. And I haven't touched one since. I just hate them.
I know that I can run a sub 6 minute kilometer on it. And that's all I need to do.
I just kept my eye on that. And you just need to do that once. And second and third time, you don't have to worry about it. But it was, the worst.
Yeah, I ran it. The only times I've done it was for ATHX. The first time I ever got on it was ATHX, and I was like, whoa, and it took a minute. And then I kind of went into it. And then the second time was a year later. And again, it took a second. So I'm not thrilled with it, but I'm also not trying to break records. And I think if you're really pushing the pace and you try to find that sweet spot of closer to the front without killing yourself, it's a lot more tricky.
The thing I like about it, though, is for intervals, it's great. You're just on, off, right? I really like the convenience of it. I also like for home gym, you don't got to plug it in, right?
Now you're selling me on it because Matt Kemp programmed something for me with a bunch of 2 minutes on and 2 minutes off things or 1 minute on. And I had to leave my backyard and come back. And then you get back to the thing. And it's a lot faster with what you're saying. What do those things run? $3,000, $4,000?
I'm going to say, yeah. You probably want to pay about $3,000 for it.
But that
I was talking about the video, Cheryl. I was talking about the video, Cheryl. That's what I was talking about.
Oh, the video. Oh, okay. Yeah. No.
That's what I was looking for.
Anyway. The point is, like I said, this might be something they're going to reach out and have be more of a for everybody thing. But I think they'll have to make changes if they are. I don't know. And maybe, sometimes these events, I know CrossFit does this, where they host events that we don't see at their bigger competitions where the general public competes and goes in it. So maybe this is their answer to that. Yeah, I'm lukewarm on it
Yes.
at most.
You sound very lukewarm on it.
Yeah, yeah.
I listened to your ATHX interview. You don't seem as lukewarm on that. You seem ready to go
I
on
like it.
ATHX.
No, that's probably next Saturday. Is I'm gonna sim that.
Okay, because you have the workouts for this next year already.
25s or 26? Which season?
26.
Okay. I would just ask them to stop talking to us if they're not going to give us dates.
Yeah, hopefully that comes. And what do they call it? Sometimes we're getting too weak to death.
We are in clear 2 week to death range.
So
I really like him, right? Like Morgs, and I really like Emma. Yeah. And I don't know what the holdup is at this point, because I told you this has been like 4 years coming, 3 years coming. But when it was like, hey, we've got Adidas, this is absolutely happening. So much so that here's an actual preview video. Like, well, this is clearly happening. Like we give HYROX a hard time with like, well, there's final things to be signed. So
venues are really hard. And that's going to be my guess as to what's holding them up, is getting the venue.
Are they?
They are. They are.
Not when you got this much time, Dave.
Yeah.
One of you.
No. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong.
Somebody is not maximizing an efficiency that needs to be efficiency. And again, I like these guys a lot, but yeah, you got to be 90% to make the announcement, and then like whatever last two T's are being crossed, or because clearly you don't pick the date. Like you wouldn't, right? Like you got to pick a date that works for everybody. So anyway, I don't know what the fucking holdup is, but yeah, they are now. I think we were going to get a spring one. Now we're not going to get a spring one.
Yeah.
So we're going to get fall events.
I just, what kind of marketing does that? Like, how does that make us excited for an event when they're just going to keep talking about it and then just not do it? I have no idea what that's doing for them. Yeah. So I was a little frustrated by that. She was very nice though.
Oh, Emma's great. Everybody loves Emma.
I'm a big fan of Emma. She's always been an advocate for me. And yeah, we're going to get 2 LT games before we get 1 ATHX.
Oh, don't be saying that. Look, if they would just look, I understand their desire for perfection on the LT side, but sometimes I think perfectionism can really get in our way. Like we have to be real careful and just make a decision. And man, the fact that they capped it at 150, I think they want to nail it. They want to make it perfect, but it's been tough. It's been tough on people.
Yeah. So are you going to do ATHX, Cheryl?
I would like to. Yeah, absolutely. However that looks, whether it's doubles or whatever. I want to try all the things. I don't want to. There is part of me that thinks I may not do a single HYROX next season. Just open it up to something complete. But I may get roped into something, but hopefully not. I don't know. But
thanks to the massive popularity of this program, you'll probably get asked to do doubles at least once.
I am asked to do doubles a lot, and this is just my high school redemption tour, right? Like people actually want to do things with me now. So this is awesome. But yeah, no, I mean, if I did ATHX as team, as a doubles kind of situation, I would love that, but I wouldn't even mind trying it, right? Like
would you do the light solo?
I'd have to see the different
breakdown,
parameters.
Dave. What's the breakdown, Dave, for 26?
Oh, I have to look. I can't remember the weights, but I think Cheryl would at least do the middle one at least.
Because I think
the biggest change between the pro and the ATHX is going to be that it's actually a lot of it's a distance of the run that you're running at sim, and that's going to be a strong point for you.
Yes.
Then what you'd have to check out though is on the Metcon at the end is if the weights on that one are all right.
Because the weight is the weight.
Yeah, I think you'd be in the middle.
Yeah, so we'll see. I just think it'd be really great to get just a real variety. I just feel like, boy, the UK, they've just always got stuff popping up, and we just can't seem to get stuff over here.
Yeah, so scroll down to the bottom, Matt. There, that's the one.
The Metcon.
Yeah. So you're looking at single arm, 12.5 kg. That's all right for you. You can do that. I think that's, it's 35-pound ground overhead single arm.
I could do that.
Yeah. So wait, did you say there was a light, an open, and a pro, or where are we at?
Yep. So if you look at the bold print, that is actually the middle one. I know it's kind of weird. That's what they call their ATHX division. Then there's a light just below it, and then the pro level just below that one. So, for example, on the ground to overhead for women, 12.5 kg. It's a single dumbbell for the ATHX division. For the light division, at looks like 7.5 kilograms.
Okay, wait. So why do I use? Okay, what are these two columns? What's this versus this?
The
black versus the white.
The black is solo. The white is doubles.
Okay, and then what's light, open, and pro then?
Okay, so if you look,
okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, here's the regular. Here's the light. Here's the pro. Okay, correct. So Cheryl, sandbag carry. Do you want 30 kg, 20 kg, or 40 kg?
How far am I carrying it? 60 meters?
Down and back, I think, on their little thing. Or maybe it's down and back twice. But
so 30 kg, you're looking at, that's about 70 pounds.
She knows. She's a pro fitness racer at this point.
Yeah, you kind of double it and add some, right? So, yeah, I mean, I could handle that. I don't think, what's
which one could you got 30, 40, or 20?
I think the middleweight's probably going to be the sweet spot for me.
Okay.
I think the 30 kg is what I would do.
And
I mean, I could probably work up to the 40. I just don't know if I'd get everything done under the time cap.
And then these are, okay, so jump overs for regular, light is step, and we assume pro is also jump over.
Yeah, pro is jump over, but taller box.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and again, I like the 20 inches, and I could definitely do a jump over. So, yeah, so, that middle.
And so then the dumbbell walking lunges for the light, it's just body weight. I love that. Make it easy for the people who are just like, let me just try to do this fucking thing. And then it's not that different. It looks like 12.5 kg. So that's 25 pounds for regular, and slightly heavier, 30 pounds for pro. Is that what I'm reading, Dave, for the women?
Yeah, 12.5 is probably 30 pounds. But yeah, and then the pro one does look like, what, 15? Is that what it's saying? Yeah. So probably 35, 40.
And then BBJ the same, 60 cal ski erg same, 25-minute time.
Yeah, Cheryl will be doing the middle one.
Yep.
For sure.
Yep. So I would just love, me, I want something new to train for all the time. Like, I just think it would be really great. I
love the challenging yourself to no HYROXes. Can I do deadlies, ATHX? Can I do some fun, like maybe some sims at a couple gyms like that are HYROX but aren't full HYROXes? Like I'm going to challenge myself to do 20 events that are not HYROX this year. Like, I think that'd be pretty cool.
I think so too.
I'm like 95% sure I'm going to go to Ottawa.
Are you going to do that pro ticket?
I'm not allowed to talk about that.
Wait a minute. What are we talking about?
We went through it last week. We'll talk after.
Yeah. We're not going to go over that again.
I don't want to get pre-disqualified.
I can't even remember what this was, guys. I'm so sorry.
I'll let you know. We'll let you know.
Just give me a hint. Just what does it begin with? Because I clearly don't remember.
I'm running my own race.
Oh, and that's what you should do, Dave. Run your own race.
Right.
Just say you're taking the advice of the internet. Okay, let's stop talking about that because I don't want to get you in trouble. I don't want to get you in trouble.
But yeah, ATHX will probably be my next Saturday. That'll probably be my anything can happen Saturday. I'll probably do the ATHX. But I also want to try the Extron. Is that right? Did I say it right? Extron?
That's what it's called.
Yeah, I want to try theirs. That's an interesting setup. I have many questions that have not been answered.
What's funny is that when you said you reached out, I was like, oh, Dave, just CC me and I'll introduce you anytime you want to do this stuff.
Oh yeah, I just sent him a quick message.
I know, but then he wrote me. But then he wrote me and said, we heard from Dave. Does he work for you as he says, or something like that? Who would make that up? Like, anyway, just CC me next time.
I was just trying to impress. I would have whipped something way better out than that.
that I'm friends with Matt.
Yeah, no. I just told him so we were going to talk about it on the podcast. So I wanted to get myself familiarized with some of the stuff.
No, it's fine. But he did want to make sure that you're.
And good for him.
And I said, yes, he's
as
great.
He should.
He's probably the best guy to help you with that stuff. But I didn't want to say like too much because I know you're not going to help him for free if like he's going to like solve your whole rule book for you. But no. So talk to me about what you like and don't like about it. And there's people that probably haven't heard it yet. But
so if you've listened to Matt's previous episode,
which just came out 5 minutes ago,
just came out a little while ago. Basically, event in the UK. And then you're going to have three different sections of it. I'm trying to remember it all. So you're going to have, basically there's like 4 lifts to do.
I'm going to pull it up. And by the way, their website is still not very good. And I told them that. They cleaned it up a little, but I'll bring up the cleaned up a little version. That
so here's it as I understand. The first portion of it is an online portion. So it's an online competition.
Correct.
There's 4 different lifts to do and 4 different cardio sections to do. So your lifts are bench press, squat, deadlift, and strict overhead press. Then your cardios are a 3K run, a 3K row, a 3K assault bike, if I got that right. And then the regular Concept 2 bike, I can't remember the distance on that. So there's actually 2 bikes, one an assault bike and one a Concept 2 bike. And they're all meters. They're not meters or kilometers. They're not calories, which I actually like that. I prefer that. I think that takes away some of the advantage of some of the size advantage that some of the bigger people have and levels the playing field a bit more.
Dave, help me remember. So I listened to Matt's interview, but I got bogged down in the geography. So
how dare you? How dare you say that?
I rather enjoyed that actually. So these lifts, are they done? The lifts are done in sequence, and then the cardio is done in sequence, or?
So for the online portion, it appears that you could just do them separately, right? So you can do like separate videos for each. It appears. It doesn't say that I can see anything about like a timeline and everything's got to be done all in sequence. It's just.
So I could just do this like throughout the week.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and that's my understanding. And that's what I mean. There's a lot of questions that I'm unsure of, but like stuff like that. So when you do these and you submit, then it'll be ranked in a point system. The point system, for my understanding, and again, this is just my understanding, the point system will basically be however many people go in it, right? You'll be assigned a certain amount of points for first place in that, say, bench press. You know, first place gets, say there's 100 people in the division. First place gets 100 points. Second place gets 99, like boom, 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 like that. Very simplistic ranking. And they'll do that for all 8, basically, of the modalities. You'll go from there, and then that will help you qualify to the in-person event. Then the in-person event is a little bit different. It is all, well, sorry, the in-person event is done, similar again, but in person. I'm not sure how the timeline works, but there's a doubles, and it's done a little different. That race, to be honest, I actually like a lot better because it's hit like you have the same movements, right? But for example, the lifts, it's more like LT games. Here's a certain amount of weight you have to hit, put whatever weight on the bar you want, and go at it. Right?
It's much smaller than I wanted, guys. Sorry.
That is a little small, but there's the movement. So yeah, so I can see, like I said, bench press, deadlift, back squat, standing shoulder strict press, 3K run. Oh, by the way, and the run can be indoor or out. So I'm guessing that can be on a treadmill if you want.
It never occurred to me, by the way, like the time limit that you could literally take a week to do this. I don't know if that's the case, but did you? I feel like I didn't even think about that.
No, I haven't got all the word back yet and stuff. But 3K run, 3K row, 10K on the regular bike. That's like a C2 bike, or even it says or an outdoor bike, and then a 3K on an assault bike. So those are your movements. Now, if you go to the team one, it's a little bit different. I'll have to try to pop that up on the website pretty quickly there.
Yeah. And so just to clarify, they've got basically 4 of these a year. So what I really like about this, it would be like if DECA had 4 a year, right? Put your time on the board, participate in the live final. And England's only this big, so anybody can go. JK. But I forget the cities, but the cities I think will be on there. So you've got a season. So January to March, boom, we compete in April. May, June, July, boom, we compete in August. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you get four cracks at it. And then live finals do have cash and prizes. It's free. So you've already paid. You paid to compete, but then you show up for, I don't know if this is forever, but at least for now, you don't pay for the championship. It's the top people get to participate for free. And I asked them about the people who put up the Fugazi times. Dave, explain what their system is around the Fugazi times.
All right. I'll be honest, it's not great. I think that they, and a lot of people do this when they're setting up these events, they overestimate the goodness of man.
Yes.
People are dicks. People are like, we do. If everybody doing these things was a good person and an honest person, we wouldn't need the rule books. We wouldn't need the rules. Everybody would just understand this is what you're supposed to do. This is the standard. This is how you put it in, and everything be great. Unfortunately, and that usually works when you're in a very small community. The bigger you get, the more assholes you attract. And you now have to have rules that are not written for the people who understand and for the people who are going to play by the rules. You need rules written for the dickheads. And not just those people. You need them written for the people who just don't understand, who are new and just learning. And then you need standards for people who are great people and just maybe miss the standard because they're pushing so hard. So they're a little off on that. Now, my understanding is for the runs, you can just submit basically a screenshot of a Strava or a screenshot of like a treadmill or something along that lines. So you can do that. And then for your lifts, I don't think there's a video requirement to show the lift. So, and you can listen on the podcast that Matt had from my understanding, their thought as well, these people will get weeded out in person. But like Matt was insinuating, I don't know if he came out and exactly said that, some people just want to be at the dance. They don't care if they look like an ass. And
happy to have an excuse. I was just not fit that day.
That's right. And
or
those
jet
people,
lag. Car was coming. Sun was in my eyes.
Those are the people that unfortunately will keep out someone who maybe has tried their ass off to make it, deserves to be there. You know, let's just say there's 20 people going to be in the event, and your 20th person who should be there gets knocked out by someone who has gamed the system or out cheated. So I think that this is something that they need to work on and to prepare for. I think that right now they're leaving themselves very open to getting a little egg on their face from an asshole, basically. Ruck Race League, same thing. Now I don't know what happened on there, but they had the same deal. I'm trying to think where other ones had that. There's just they pop up all the time, and people just.
I think Ruck Races was such a small percentage of people that like I think they got mostly.
They still had like 400 people though, and at 400 people, you're still going to get people going out there and just.
But the final was only 30 people, and I think 20 of them showed up, and you probably had a pretty good.
Yeah,
right.
But
I see. I wanted to know what you thought about the other part. That it wasn't that they're gonna then take out the people whose times look bad, but that the community was going to do that. What did you think of that?
Well, I'm all for that. Like CrossFit does a similar thing too, where basically but CrossFit now they're demanding a video be posted, and then people will like flag the video as this is good, this is bad, this needs review, whatever the case may be. I like that. This is just going to be a case of, well, this score looks weird, and then I'm going to report it. Well, like every score is going to get reported. You know, like it's.
Yeah,
it's a good concept, but there's not enough information for the public to go on.
Yeah, I thought, and I think they're coachable. And I think if we chatted with them and said, I could not like somebody and report them. So I think you can do it. Like you don't have thousands of entries. You're good enough now that like you're small enough now that you guys can dedicate some time and not watch every single video or every single thing, but like, hey, this looks a little wacky. This person, quickly click on their Instagram. Are they capable? You know, that kind of stuff that they can self-select it. And then, you know, that the community, the telling on your friends is not, or enemies isn't great.
And then the thing too, and this is again, I don't know because they don't have this posted. And it's like, okay, so I'm going to do my bench press. And now, Matt, I'm going to tell you that I did 300 pounds on my bench. Do I have to have a video for that? Like you might think that's sketch. You might think that's not right. No way, Dave can't do 300 pounds on the bench. So I'm going to report it. So they contacted me and said, "You do 300 pounds?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do 300 pounds."
Ask Rye. She was there.
So it's like,
ask my wife.
If you're going to institute something like that, you have to say beforehand, you need to be prepared to submit evidence of whatever the case may be. Right. And if that's just a video of you doing it, fantastic. I mean, especially with a quick lift like that. Right. You know, and by the way, it's not going to be 300 pounds because there's our, 10 rep. max, not more. So
Where can I buy some of those fake plates?
yeah, exactly. And that's what I mean. And now if you've ever done the CrossFit Open, or back when HYROX did over COVID, there were so many online competitions. Like, we would have to literally weigh the weights, and there was rules to doing the videos as to, like, you couldn't leave the screen. You had to prove the day. There's a lot of stuff like that. Like, when you're doing any kind of online contest, it's almost harder than an in-person contest, and you need even more rules and regulations because there's so much can happen.
That's me leaving the screen.
Yeah. You can. So, and like, for example, I could come on here and I could, okay, here I'm doing my 50-pound dumbbells. Here I got them on the scale. I'm weighing. Here's my 50. You see, it's 50 pounds. Great. I take that off the screen. Now I'm over here where we're going to do something.
Right. But this is why. It's interesting though, because I've talked to who knows how many races over time, and sometimes even one-on-one they don't necessarily hear it, but when they listen on a show like this, and it sort of it gets in the ear differently. Like, oh, this is what people actually think about my thing, which I've been in the zone about and I haven't even thought about.
I think the event itself is fantastic.
I'm just saying, I'm going to tell them to listen to this. And again, I think they've hired me to help. So all cards on the table. I'll probably be going over there at some point, but even if I'm not, I help them with marketing, which I do with many companies. And I think they'll probably, because they hear somebody like you, this voice of reason that they don't know at all. And like, oh, he's making a lot of sense.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the concept of the event, I like how it's very simplistic movements. It's very basic. It's stuff we all do in the gym. So there's a very short learning curve. Anybody can do it. There is a very low entry because the weights are basically what you can push. So anybody, if you can only do the bar, great. That's fantastic. That's all you need to do. So it's really inclusive that way. So there's a lot of really good stuff here. It's just, I'm worried with the officiating and basically the setup that they're gonna have people take advantage, and that can really wreck what can otherwise be a great event. So I hope that they get that cleaned up. I think they need an ironclad rulebook, especially for this online portion, and online judging and whatnot. I personally would, if I was setting this up for me on the online portion. Am I giving stuff away for free now, Matt? Is this free stuff?
Listen. It's just like any good drug dealer. You always give them a little for free, and then they come back for more. So give them a little. I'm all for public. And this is gonna sound, I'm all for public humiliation on judging. I'm all for that. I like that idea. I would just have it so that it's set up a little bit differently, and I would probably steal from the way CrossFit does it, where it's like you flag a video that you think might be off. So yeah, they're gonna have issues there. What did you think about if you don't get within a certain percentage, your score won't even count in the finals?
So if you're not within a certain percentage of so basically, again, if I go and so I'll be a little more realistic. I'm going to say, okay, my 10 rep max, I'm doing, and I'll just throw it, I'm doing 185 pounds for 10 reps. Okay. Now if I make it to the live event and then I go there, I need to lift within 20% of that 185. I like that. I think that's really cool. That's a great idea. I actually think it should be less.
Like 5%?
Maybe 10. Because 20, like if I'm saying, even for easy math, if I'm pushing 200 pounds, and that's what I say, that's what got me there, and then I throw 180 on, that's a massive difference.
It's a massive difference, eh?
Yeah, and exactly. Yeah, it did sound like so that could have bumped somebody out that deserved to be there over me. So I would actually be all right with a smaller number, or you need to do the number that you qualified with.
Okay, how about this? If it's 10%, your score doesn't count. If it's more than 10%, you have to strip naked and you walk through the town and we yell shame and throw tomato at you.
That seemed like a waste of food.
Well, rotted veggies, the ones that didn't make the cut, the ones that
are
not
going to bricks and rocks though. No bricks and rocks.
No, you can't hurt the person, Dave. We're not savages, but psychologically we are, and you're shamed. You deserve the shame.
There you go.
Listen,
that's ironclad.
Listen, Dave, I'm just spitting here, but I do think maybe this could work for DECA too.
Matt, there are no bad ideas. They're just good ideas and Matt's ideas.
Dave. Next year's world champs. I know you can make this happen. You just do one of your cute videos that you do. Here's me skipping rope. Here's me doing whatever I'm doing, lifting weights. Here's my cute skirt. Hey, by the way, if you qualify and you don't finish within a certain percentage, we don't care what day you've had. We don't care about jet lag. you will then have to be paraded through the arena and through the town, and people will yell shame at you.
In fairness,
Would that keep some people out?
No, I get it, but that's a lot of work. What if we just had like the rack at center square, and you just leave them naked in the rack? Would that be all right? Because then people could just randomly go by throwing vegetables at their leisure.
Show people what the rack is. You're not, you
know,
show
like your head and everything in there.
Okay.
Like, we're all good.
Either way, we better keep championships in Florida, or else it's not going to work.
Yeah, exactly.
Texas.
Oh yeah, that's true. Texas would go. Yeah, not California.
No, dirty hippies. Fuck them.
So one more thing about the Extron thing that I did like, and I actually really like their doubles event, because the final for that is it's a race, right? It's not an individual thing. It's a race, and it's 1K run, 10 rep bench, 1.5K row, 10 rep deadlift, 3K bike, 10 rep back squat, 3K assault bike, and then 10 reps standing shoulder press. And you can divvy it between each other however you want. For time. Yeah. I like that. That sounds like a riot.
Yeah.
Sounds dangerous, but okay.
Yes, but fun. Like I like that better than the singles. I would be way more inclined to do that.
Well, I listen to these guys, and I will say, especially like races in the UK on the faux rock scale, you know, 1 being this isn't like HYROX at all, and 5 being might as well be HYROX, you know. I appreciate the fact that they're not just trying to duplicate a race that's just so popular that it's easy to, you know, have other people access these races that are like it. I mean, the fact that it's so different, and the fact that it is just basic gym movements is, I think, really, really great. It just seems like these poor guys have a great idea, and then they come up against what it's really like to put on a fitness race, right? Where it's just logistics and cheating and judging. And I just think that can beat all the joy out of anyone who's got a good idea if they're not careful. So they really should like get a hold of someone who's willing to put up with all that.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be great.
This and ATHX, I think, are probably 2 of the best events set up to judge pure fitness.
Mm-hmm.
I would say in my mind, above CrossFit, above.
How dare you?
World. Yeah, that's my rant.
They invented working
We need to get your rant.
That's my rant I want to go on too. So above CrossFit, above HYROX, above DECA, above all these other ones, because they are such base movements, and they are like these ones, Extron and ATHX, are not so heavily favored. Like HYROX is so heavily favored to cardio, right? These ones are not. They're fairly equal portioned, and I think that both of them are just supremely good tests of fitness.
Well, and let's start with the basics. Both have an X. Gotta have that.
Gotta have
Important.
the X.
And, you know, as my friend Ian K pointed out, because he's, you know, right in the heart of all these races that pop up all the time, that scale you referred to, I think the further down you are, the better chance you have of lasting. Because if you're on the, as Ian calls them, HYROX in different order, right? When the popularity wanes, it's like, why am I going to do another one? I'll just do HYROX again or do nothing. But if you've got a different challenge, I enjoy this thing called fitness racing, called hybrid movements, right? So the further you are down on the exactly like HYROX scale, like it's really the smart. You might sell more tickets now, but long term you won't. I think if you guarantee what I'm saying.
Yeah, yes. I agree. 100%. It's and not only that, I think events like this will keep other events like HYROX and DECA relevant, because you're not just doing the same thing over and over again. You have these other ones to dabble in, so you can go back and forth and back and forth. And that will make, like, I'm more inclined to do a HYROX once or twice a year because I can do these other things.
Mm-hmm.
If it was just, you know, do HYROX or something else, I would probably move on, because I've done enough of this. It's time to move on.
Well, I know we got a lot of other things to cover, but I do think we should check in with Dave's guesstimate of HYROX popularity, right? We talked about the peak.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you said this is the season where we start to drop. And I think
I said end of 2026.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, end of 2026.
Yeah.
Okay. So we got another year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I actually, now if you're going to ask me again, I think it might come a little bit earlier.
Earlier.
Yeah.
Well, let's use our friend Dustin Needham. Okay.
Yep.
Dustin, I know you're listening. The true honk. I'll go to any race.
Everything.
I'll do everything. I'll take the flags. I love it. I'm chasing flags. This is my life. Right.
Talk about home gyms too. Killer home gym.
Home gym, killer home gym. So those people, right? They're a smaller percentage even than the Cheryls. Cheryl does a bunch of races, but she's not as much as Dustin, right?
No.
And then let's go with the once a year person, right? But they do it every year. Like, hey, I live in Miami. I do Miami every year, right? So the Dustins are the canary in the coal mine. God, I'm just fucking sick of this. How many flags do I need? And Dustin, maybe that day never comes, but we saw it in Spartan, right? 3 to 5 years, right? So maybe Dustin is the bad example because he'll probably last longer than most and maybe forever, but maybe the step below, maybe the Cheryls, right?
I keep saying that everyone will drop off on everything and Dustin will inherit the earth.
Probably. They're starting out bad. So you get what I'm saying though. I still think the flag chasing and as much as I can within reason, because the people that live in England that can do what Dustin does, just fly to Germany and Spain, wherever. I don't know. I think I'm less likely to believe it's the end of the year, the end of this year. I still think, because again, we're still behind on it. America's still behind on it.
Yep.
We're gonna have more events.
You didn't agree with me when I said it, so for you to not agree with me now is not surprising.
Well,
okay, but RockSoft,
especially because they are.
Talk about RockSoft. I think that's the true canary, right?
Can you bring up that post, Matt, and show that?
I will. I will.
But you're in demand, aren't you?
As I'm grabbing this phone call, so just give me a second.
Yeah.
I'll pull it up.
Okay, so Dave, I don't know if you looked at that graph that RockSoft posted about the percentage of first-time participants as opposed to repeat customers with HYROX. But this year, it's drastically changed from seasons prior. And I don't know enough about business to know what those numbers actually mean. Because this year, there is a much greater percentage of return customers coming to HYROX than there are first-timers, as opposed to in comparison to other seasons. And I showed that to my husband, who, he doesn't really know business either. And I said, okay, what's your first impression of this? And he said, my first impression is that HYROX has peaked. And I don't know what I think about that.
I think what we'll know is season 9, because what this is showing us, and by the way, season 8, I as someone who cares about this stuff a lot, I clarified what this means. Season 8 is 25-26, so it's the current season, so it's not even over yet. I said, how did you account for misspelled names, multiple names, Matt B. Davis, Matthew Davis, et cetera, and he gave me the percentages on what that means, and it's low, right? And he basically said, if you're one person and your name isn't right in multiple places, you really give a shit. Over 1 million participants, it's negligible, right? Okay. So Spartan probably looked something like this at one point, right? Big chunk of repeat business. As time goes on, none of those people stick around. That's what longevity is, right? So same thing with Ironman, same thing with anything, right? Repeat customers is how you fucking stay in business. So the fact that we see this big chunk of repeat customers, the arrow's going the right direction. Next year, if it stays the same, pretty good. If it dips a lot and it's back to just mostly first timers, then you're not as healthy.
Well, I think you can almost read, so I can read that 2 different ways. One, exactly the way you said, which is, I can't say if it's right or wrong, because again, I'm not the business mind. The other way I can read it too is now, you're getting less people trying for the first time because you're running out of people to try for the first time. So as those people go down, that could account for more repeat numbers, because you're just dealing with a percentage here, right? So it's one of those stats that you can interpret either way. personally, it doesn't tell me a ton. I don't grab a lot from this stat.
But I think the reason it looks good, and we can certainly talk to chat and ask it to interpret both ways. The reason it looks good is because the numbers overall are going up. If the numbers are dropping and you only have first timers, then you're probably in bad shape.
Yeah. And that's what I think won't happen until the end of the year.
I love that you're so, what's the opposite of bullish? Bearish on this. I mean, I'm not just saying this because it's how I make my living right now. We keep seeing, 3 days, 4 days, more cities. And I just think we're at least a couple years away from the peak.
I just look at the calendar and I look at how many people in how many places. And again, they like to stay in the major cities and stuff like that. It's just, I don't see the amount of growth per se that happened last year to be able to happen this year. And if you're not growing as fast as you were, that's the first sign towards starting to shrink.
Right. But again, in comparison, again, I will refer to my friend Chat. I talked to Chad about Spartan's numbers, right? Because they put out some ridiculous number that does not exist. 1.5 million people did not happen. Follow ORM and I can tell you why. But why is this not horrible news? They went from 480,000 finishers, just Spartan, Sprint, Super, and Beast, right? Not Trail, not whatever. Last year was 480 worldwide. This year it's 430. Now explain why that's not horrible news for Spartan. And it's like, hey, it's a mature brand. This happens with mature brands. They've been around for 15 years. You never are going to grow every single year. That's not going to happen. It's got to adjust somewhat. If you drop 10% a year, in 5 years, you're in half, right? So there's got to be some move. But again, the doubling, like that will slow down, right? Like probably 26 to 27, that will slow down. But again, still an up arrow as opposed to flat or down.
Yeah. So like I said, that very well could happen. And I think the Spartan analogy is bang on. Yeah. And all I know is if I owned HYROX, this is the year I'd sell it.
Wow.
Because right now there are still so many people who, like you, believe there's so much more potential in it. Right?
Well, you know what's great? You know what's fantastic?
Selling high.
But you know what's fantastic, Dave? We are recording this call.
Yeah.
It is the 29th.
This is nothing new. This is nothing new that I've said. I've said this.
I know, but I really like that we can come back and listen to this and find out. And I just want, in case people are unaware, like Dave isn't a doomsday guy. Dave isn't a naysayer. Dave is looking at his experience with this and HYROX and DECA and OCR and all of it. I think you're selling early, but that's nobody knows. If we all knew,
that's the market, right?
Right. So I think if we're in the same, I think it's always better to sell early than sell late.
Yeah.
But
all I know is the minute a kink in the armor happens, the price will drop.
I think chink in the armor is the phrase you're looking
for. Chink in the armor? Yeah. Okay. The minute the chink in the armor happens, the price will drop massively.
But there's no way Mo and Christian are going anywhere. I mean, every time I look, Mo is on some other panel and TV show about how great things are, and good for him. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying I don't think these guys are going anywhere. I think, again, and there are things we don't know, Dave. There are some things like the shoe deals, the whatever deals that are coming, which again, another good sign, right? Puma went to 2030. Yep. Why did Puma say 2030 and not 28? Like, they're feeling pretty good too. So
yeah, I know, but so is every major league team that signs a guy for 10 years and then he dies off after 3. So I mean, that is definitely a point and something to see. It's just not an ironclad. That's it. So I mean, to be like, in all honesty, I hope I'm wrong.
Well, yeah, you make some money from this too, right?
Like I don't benefit from.
You have a job. You have a job with DECA, right?
Yeah. I don't benefit in the least from this depleting. I enjoy doing these races, and I I get some money out of it. So it's not of my benefit for anything like that to happen. I just watching it. That's my prediction. And you know what? Hopefully at the end of the year, next year, like around this time, you can go, see, you were fucking wrong, and I'll be like, cool.
Yeah. Again, I feel like we've got this great we've got this great thing that you and I have been deep in to compare it to, and it's not exact, but it just feels so much bigger than Spartan ever did. And I just say that over and over again because it's gyms and not running outside in the mud. And it just feels why the ceiling is higher, why the longevity is longer. Because remember, it's not just HYROX. We're in a fitness fucking boom. Yep. More people just did a half marathon than ever did on Thanksgiving.
Yep.
So that's a fact. It's really cool to be sober and well and do cold plunges. And like, we're in this fucking boom. So that's the kind of macro of that's what I want to ask Jake, Cheryl, because where that falls is partly where HYROX falls, right?
Right.
What are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts are that if it's a boom, then we're in trouble because something else will come along, right? And so with that, all these race companies are gonna suffer if people just decide they're tired and they're tired of being injured all the time and they're tired of working hard all the time.
I know, but I'm asking you about the general fitness boom that we're in. Like, it's not just HYROX. HYROX is one cool thing to dress up cute, get on Instagram, but so is, like I said, joining the run club, getting in the cold tub. Like, hey, I rhymed.
Yeah.
All that stuff, we're at peak that, right?
Yeah.
So,
I do.
Where's the ceiling on being healthy and fit versus going out and partying, which is kind of this movement that we're in right now?
Yes. I am currently reading a book about how to age and stay fast, not just stay fit, but stay fast, right? Because I'm kind of coming up against that. And one of the interesting things that this guy's saying over and over again is that one of the reasons why we get slower as we age is that we just don't want to do the hard work anymore. Like, we just get tired of it. We get tired of doing intervals. We get tired of doing speed work. It's hard. And I do think that as human beings, we do have that propensity to work hard for a period of time and then just kind of stop trying that hard. You just have to wonder if this big fitness trend could end up being like what most humans do, which is find something else to do that's more fun and easier. And then so goes HYROX, so goes cold plunging, so goes 10K runs. Like
pickleball.
What's that?
Pickleball.
And I will tell you, most of the people in my class that I teach for the last time this week, their injuries are from pickleball, right? Because they stay out there for 3-4 hours doing the same repetitive motion. And it's because it's easy and it's fun, right? And this really, really hard work, I think, is always going to be super interesting to a very slim margin of the population. And then the rest of the people are going to find something else to do. I don't see a fitness boom just by definition lasting for decades.
5 years ago, I'm so glad you mentioned this. 5 years ago today, I ran my one and only FKT, which, by the way, still has not been beaten. It's been beaten by faster people, but they did it the supported way. So self-supported, I ran this 57-mile FKT, which ended up being 62, right?
Whoa.
December 29th, 2020. Do you know how fucking hard it would be for me to get back into that shape? I asked chat just for the hell of it, and it's like, oh yeah, 18 to 24 months. But it was easy because I was running 20 miles a week, 20 miles a week, 20 miles a week. And then I just, for 10 years, and then it's like, oh, let's bump that to 30 for a few weeks. And I know how to eat, and I know how to do all this stuff, and I paced it great. And I would do better now because I didn't even have chat back then to figure out my calories, which is what I would do now. But the point is, I can't believe that. I watch the video every now and again to go, oh boy. And I wasn't young, right? I was 48 years old at the time. But it would take me so long to get back into that kind of shape. Now I'm a different athlete now. I'm stronger than I was, and I have all different kinds of skills. But oh boy, am I not am I not committed to that amount of work?
Yeah, it's pushing a boulder up a hill, right? We're just constantly having to stay on top of it, or else we're going to lose it. And I think a lot of people are just not going to have, I wouldn't even say the discipline, just literally the time.
And again, Dave, to further the macro about the investment in the athletes, think about all the fucking tech companies and all the fucking wearables, the gazillions of dollars that's being pumped into that because they're betting, they're hedging, right? We're talking about investing on people give a shit about this. I didn't even mention that, right? Like somebody joked about it the other day. Like our grandfathers, and certainly older than that, did not count how much they're fucking slept, right? They weren't checking their fucking data, right? They went to bed, they got up and went to fucking work the next day. And if they had a little bit too much to drink, they went into work hungover, right? So like, it's really, really, and maybe there'll be a complete backlash by the time the kids are my age. Like, you measured your sleep last night? What kind of a fucking idiot are you, right? We're shooting heroin into our fucking eyeballs, right? Like, we don't know where it's going to go. I said eyeballs and I pointed to my elbow, by the way, for the audio listeners. But all this stuff makes me bullish. And again, I'm in my own feedback loop of I make a living from this. But those are the kinds of things I look at. I want to get Mo on here, my friend Mo at Sweatworks, who I always want to get on here, who has been in the fit tech space for over a decade. And he knows all the stuff. He knows where all the bodies are buried. He knows all the millions being, it's just, there's just so much. We're in this fitness boom that HYROX is benefiting from. And I think the peak might be here and we're here. We're not quite there yet.
Yep.
I think I can't imagine us completely backsliding to sitting on the couch, not doing anything. No. I do think that there's something to be said about just our general understanding of what fitness can do for us, just health-wise, longevity-wise. I do wonder, and I don't know if it's just because the algorithm knows me, but man, there's a lot of HYROX content out there right now, right? Like people just the constant feed of, look at my HYROX race, look what I did, right? There's got to be a backlash to that at some point. Like when are we just going to have it up to here with seeing your dumb HYROX race? Like just go run it, right? Like just go have a good time. I just can't help but wonder if there may be a social media issue when it comes to this. If the market's become so saturated and we're so tired of seeing that may have an impact on HYROX itself. I don't think HYROX is going away. I think it's a great race, right? Like it's so fun. But how nice will it be if we can get some Extrons and some ATHX and some LT and some deadly and, all these things so that we can all start trying a lot of stuff and solving different problems and not just the same one.
Yeah. And like I said, at the end of the year, I don't expect it to fall off a cliff.
No, I know what you're saying.
I just think that will be the peak. That's where it'll start to fade. Not fade, but it'll start to be less popular, less cool, less in, like Cheryl says, old news. Yeah, old news, fatigue, that kind of thing will set in. Start to anyway. But we'll see.
I would have liked to have seen that post from RoxOpt demonstrate on that 100% what the actual numbers are, though, because that would have looked far more impressive to see the rise in actual participants. Mm-hmm. And then the percentages within that.
I mean, I can tell you.
Because the rise in participants is massive.
Yes. And it would have made the whole thing look just that much more impressive as far as what they've been able to accomplish. It's really quite incredible.
Stay tuned for amazing articles written by me and chat about that. Because again, now that I've confirmed his numbers, I can kind of put that all together. And what was the other thing I was going to say? And by the way, Cheryl, a little behind the scenes, if you will, that's what my job is every day. How do I put out content about this thing, right? That actually people will stop and look at, that isn't clickbait garbage, a bunch of girls' butts, but actual news and information, right? That's kind of my challenge every day. I wake up and I go, how can I do that, right? Mm-hmm. Because I know how sick of I'm seeing it. If I'm flapping through, it's like, I mean, YouTube, by the way, same thing. And it's funny because you'll see, I did my first HYROX. It's some guy you've never heard of, and it has 1 million views. And then it's another one that says, I did my first HYROX, and it's 62 views because he started his channel yesterday, and he thinks he's going to become the next BPN or whatever. So I think we might be in peak content. That would be my answer. We're in peak content, but we're not.
I hope so.
We're not in peak HYROX.
I think that's well put. I think that's what we're looking at. Yep.
And I hope so, because the content is overwhelming.
It is overwhelming. It is. I was in the gym doing a little HYROX workout on Saturday. One of the trainers asked me what I was doing. I told him I was training for like, and he says, he says to me, what was your finishing time? Which I think is the rudest question ever. Like, you
Really?
just met me and you're asking me my finishing time. Turns out he and his wife had run a doubles, months prior or whatever. And so we were talking about it. And then he said, I actually don't think I'll do another one. He said, I'm a CrossFitter and I like variety, and I think there are a lot of people out there who, they're just trying it once.
Why is it that whenever I see someone at the gym in a Tough Mudder or Spartan shirt or on a run, it's always a 10-year-old shirt? People do like to keep those things. I was on a run yesterday and I saw a guy in a Tough Mudder shirt and it was like the 2016 Tough Mudder. And I was like, good shirt.
I wore my 2013 to the gym the other day.
Yeah.
I mean, so we those, honey.
At the gym all the time.
All at the gym all the time, she says.
Yeah.
Yep.
All the time.
Tough Mudder.
Tough Mudder, baby.
I even saw I think not a Warrior Dash, but one of the really old ones. I forget, Savage or something.
Quality shirts, man.
Right?
What are you going to do? Yeah, it's good. But the interesting thing was I told him, I said, well, you should try an LT. This is in a Lifetime Fitness. I'm in a Lifetime Fitness gym. I say, you should try the LT. I did it last October. And he said, what's that?
Right. It's like a BLT.
What's going on, guys? Yeah. Anyway, I have no idea what's happened with that.
Dave, do you have some CrossFit news you want to talk about?
It's not news. It's my little rant.
All
Because
right.
you had your CrossFit rant. I got my little rant.
We're ready for it.
All right. So basically, Chandler Smith just finished the World Fitness Project, and he posted a post, and it was clearly to piss people off, claiming to be the 8th fittest in the world, right? And that just set the CrossFit people off because they're no, this doesn't mean anything. CrossFit Games is the fittest person on earth. That's the way it is. Everything else is. I'm like, okay, Chandler's just doing that to piss people off. So that's something aside. But what it brings up, and this happens to a lot, and then I see on Hiller, and so I will still watch some of Hiller's stuff, and where he was actually not slamming Chandler. He said the same thing. He's like, Chandler's just trying to tick you all off. But in his mind, he compared it, and he's like, same thing. He's like, you win the CrossFit Games, you're the fittest on earth, right? It's not debatable. It's this, it's that. It's just like, if you're the tallest person on earth, you're the tallest person on earth. And I'm like, all right, I hear this kind of stuff all the time. And the problem is CrossFit, if you win the CrossFit Games, are you the fittest person on earth? Maybe, possibly, right. Especially like in Tia's case, is Tia probably the fittest woman on earth? Probably. But I don't think it's because she wins the CrossFit Games. And like I said just earlier, I don't feel the CrossFit Games is the best test of fitness because it is too high skill. It's too much like, for example, even the World Fitness Project I just watched, the first event was swimming. Well, I might be way fitter than somebody, but a 9-year-old girl can smoke me in the pool. Right? Like, it's too skill-based. So CrossFit defines fitness as work capacity across broad time and mobile domains, which actually sounds pretty cool. Except then they throw in all of their tests, high-level gymnastics and high-skilled Olympic lifting, handstand walks, handstand pirouettes, muscle-ups, pullovers, like stuff that just, you need to acquire that skill. It's not just pure fitness. So to say that the winner of the CrossFit Games is the fittest person on earth it's a tagline.
Right.
It's not fact. It's a slogan. So HYROX could make, and CrossFit knows it's a slogan because they copyrighted it. If it was fact, they wouldn't need to copyright it. So it gets frustrating to me when they'll be like, well, these people aren't fit because they didn't win the CrossFit Games or because they're not in the CrossFit Games. So if you're in the World Fitness Project and you did really well, in CrossFit's mind, well, no, that doesn't matter because you weren't at the CrossFit Games. So it doesn't matter. So while Chandler was just trying to piss people off, he still is making a point. And that's just because it's not CrossFit doesn't mean you're not fit. And quite frankly, I still, like I say, I think CrossFit is not a good test of fitness. You have to be fit to win it, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're the fittest. And that's where I think ATHX and the Extron, both, because they're so simplistic, are much more of a case of pure fitness. I mean, decathlon, whoever wins Olympic decathlon.
That's what I was going to say. Where do you put decathlon in
person on earth?
Where do you put decathletes?
I put decathletes a lot with CrossFit because it's still high skill. Right? It's very high skill. They are obviously, could they be the fittest athletes on earth? Absolutely, they could be. but your definition of fitness is based on what one guy said fitness was. And you can't,
who you worship like a cult leader.
Yeah, you can't hold the rest of us to saying, oh, well, it's absolutely that's correct because this guy said that's the definition of fitness. That's not my definition of fitness.
Right. It would be like if we said battle bunker, you're the fittest on earth, because that's the test they chose.
Yep. And it's just, and I don't understand the logic too, because I'll hear CrossFitters say, well, the programming wasn't good, so this person would have won if the programming was different. So to me, if you're judging the tallest person in the world, no matter what unit of measurement you use, that person's still going to be the tallest person in the world. But with CrossFit, if you change your unit of measurement, i.e. change the programming, you're going to get a different outcome as to who the fittest person is. So clearly it's a flawed system. It's a flawed way to get that title. It's a cool tagline, but it's just a tagline, and they need to stop getting so uptight about it. And when someone else says they're fit, they are fit.
I can't even. I really appreciate your rant, and I'm like, I do check in with Hiller and these other things sometimes because they're in my feed because I don't follow, and then I just end up getting mad. So I might just have to block it all and get it out of my feed because I just can't deal with it.
See, I don't get upset about it, so I'll watch some of it. There's ones that I don't like that I don't watch, but I'll tune into Hiller's thing when I'm like, this looks interesting to me, so I'll watch it. But the other ones I don't like. So it's just, but it is something I see across posts generally, is they're always like, well, these are the fittest people because they win the CrossFit Games, and I'm like, it's not a real unit of measurement. It's it's not the correct scale. So anyway, that's my little rant. Still love CrossFit. I enjoy it. I do my little bit of dabbling here and there. It's that tagline is what it is. It's a tagline.
Well, how about everything is CrossFit? Because that's what I hear.
If everything is CrossFit, then nothing is CrossFit.
Well, but that's
right?
their argument.
Yeah, that's their argument. Everything is CrossFit. I know, I've heard that too. So by that stretch, if I want to put in the CrossFit Games speed skating on ice, the winner of the games is going to be very different. Everything's.
Why are there no ice events? That's a great point.
Hey, I mean, I've said it before. If you can be out there and part of your CrossFit Games is paddleboard racing, then speed skating on ice ain't that much sillier.
That's a good point.
And that's the point. That's not a test of fitness. That's a test of who spent their summer paddleboarding. It's just, it is what it is. It's not a clear-cut test of fitness. It is not a clear-cut way to find out who the fittest person on earth is.
Do we?
Oh, by the way, if everything is CrossFit too, I mean, then clearly you're not putting everything you need into the CrossFit Games to test properly because everything's not in the games.
All right, back to HYROX. This was a big one we wanted to talk about, which was who won the most CrossFit races in 2025. What did I say?
CrossFit. Who won the most?
Everything's CrossFit.
Yeah.
Who won the most HYROX races, and what this will do to next year's Elite 15 based on this new system, which is a points-based system, which is yet to be released. We were told January's in a couple days. There are people who've won. Gabe Heck has won a bunch of races already. Gabe Heck is not the fastest in the world, but he's won the most races, so that's going to put him at the top of the leaderboard. What are our thoughts?
Well, we don't necessarily know that, because we don't know how the point system for the majors comes into play.
Well, we know that winning will count for a lot. And
yes, but so a win at a regular event, is that worth a 5th place at a major or a 10th place?
I only think it. I don't think you're punished for just winning a race. I think if there's I think if it's way below, like I think if you win a race in a place that like nobody, right? Like if you win in India and there's nobody even close. But I think Gabe's won races where there were at least people close enough that it mattered.
No, here are Gabe's 4 overall wins: Taipei, Bangkok, Shanghai, and Shenzhen.
I take back everything I said. Right?
That's the problem.
Well, and that's what we said.
But again, supposedly, as kids like to say, percentage of it's the opposite of percentage of winner. Percentage of second place is supposedly going to count. So yeah, he might be further down the trough.
It is going to be a very, very complicated point system. If not only you have the points, but for the position, then the points for percentage of winner. I really look forward to doing the math when I get to see the whole thing.
Well, if they're smart, will they just put it into chat a few different ways and say, what's the fairest way to do this? I'm going to do it right now.
If they trust chat. I don't particularly trust chat.
You know, depending on the way they score this. I mean, so this is from Ian's account, right? That we got this, that thankfully somebody's doing all this math for us, at least finding these people's names. By the time you get to third overall wins, sure, we've got Camilla Massa, who she has raced a ton and has come out on top quite a bit. And so that's been helpful for her lately. And we've got Lauren Weeks in there, which we're not surprised about. But then there are names that I have quite frankly never heard of. And it could be just because I'm, North American centric or whatever. But what's her name? Fang Mei, from China has gotten 3 overall wins. Like, I just have to wonder if all of a sudden we're dealing with an entirely different group of people going into the majors after Stockholm. I mean, if it is going to be as simplistic as just how many people are winning and how many wins they're getting, it could be a while before this shakes out.
Well, when you listen to how Lauren Weeks put it on my recent episode on podcasts near you, she said, at least we've got like, hey, I live at elevation. I don't live at elevation. I can't get to these other cities. I live near this. Like, it levels that part, right?
Yes.
So I like that. Here's what the first crack at chat, which we can certainly get better at it. But the first crack at chat says, define a point eligible field. A race only generates points if it meets minimum competitive depth. Example, at least 8 elite eligible starters, at least 5 finishers, at least 3 athletes with prior elite points. So 8 would be too many, but I kind of like that, right? So it's not just it's points come from who you beat, not just placed. Points are awarded based on relative strength of field, not raw placement. What do we think about that, Dave?
The problem I have with that is now, again, you're chasing venues, you're chasing races, you're not sure, right? So you might have planned where I can only make these races, and then they get there and then the field's poor, and now all of a sudden you win and it doesn't count. And I don't.
It's basically saying,
I like certainty.
It's basically
Welcome
saying,
to being an age grouper in HYROX.
Yeah, and I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's basically saying, what if you look at it this way? Instead of penalizing, it's just more about rewarding. So the phrase they use is multiplier. So if there's nobody else there, there's no multiplier. If you race at least 2 other elite 15-ish athletes, a little bit more points, the deeper the field. And
the problem I have with that is, no matter how well I perform, my points outcome still depends on who else shows up.
But how else are we going to do it? What's a better way to do it? What's more fair?
Well, more fair is the way I've been saying for 4 years.
Every race is an LCQ?
Every major is an LCQ, yeah.
But how do we get to the majors? This is talking about how we get to the majors in the first place.
I know. I'm saying the majors should be open. I would have the majors realistically. So here I would have for the majors, right? And I've said it many, many times. Cheryl's like, yeah, how many times we go through this? So basically, and I've even said we could do this. All right. So let's say any man who's run faster than 60 minutes in the past 12 months, you're eligible to go into the major. Any woman who's run faster than 65 minutes in the past 12 months, you're eligible to go in the major. All right. Your televised wave or whatever, the streamed wave is your top 15 times. Great. There you go. Off in that, and then everybody else goes in there are different waves. You could even put out that first wave up to 60 people because we've seen them do it.
So what's the rest of the year?
So you have 5 majors like that.
But what's the rest of what about the other 100 races that take place in Shanghai and Taipei and Cleveland?
Well, that's where you're chasing to make sure that you have your time under 60 or 65 minutes.
Even if I'm at elevation or whatever.
Yeah.
It's still time-based.
So
I'm not thrilled.
I don't care.
If I live in Mexico City, it's almost impossible for me to get below 60.
Yes,
right?
but that's saying now all of a sudden for this system you can't travel, but for every other system you can travel 5 races.
I don't know.
So what I'm saying is, you're saying I live in Mexico, so I can only hit that 1 race.
If I can't afford to travel, I have an unfair advantage.
Correct. Now, how does that apply to the same scenario of the qualifying system right now or the new proposed one? It's the exact same problem.
I don't want any time-based. I don't want any time-based
And
qualification.
I would be fine with taking away that time too. I'd be fine with having it be higher. It's one of those cases where, you know, that's just to null the field a little bit. I wouldn't care. I'd open it for everybody. I don't really give a crap. You could have it be a certain thing, but
because you don't care about like the matching outfits and all the pageantry and the hype. And I do. Like, I want to be able to complain about Till. I enjoy the broadcast. Like, I enjoy the fancy little, you know,
you still have all that. That wouldn't change.
It's just I just don't think it's the same. Here's the other thing I like about this new system is I don't actually want these guys working together to try to get good times, which is kind of what's happening. Like, I think Jack Driscoll in an interview was talking about in Chicago or Boston or something, where they were like, all right, you guys, you know, we're going to sort of help each other. You know, we're all kind of rooting for each other to get sub 55 or whatever. Mm-hmm. I want a good, healthy competition. I want them trying to beat each other. I just think it's a lot more fun when we've got actual winners.
So I can give you two examples that I've seen in real life that I thought were fantastic and I think are exactly the healthy sport of competition. One was a Spartan race and one was this HYROX that you're talking about. So there was a Spartan race where I don't even remember who it was now, but second place said to third place, like, hey, we work together, we're going to catch first. Right. And then we'll duke it out. Right. And they did. That's exactly what ended up happening. They didn't work against each other. Cole said to Grayson, if you stick with me, we're both going to get a 55. Yep. Now, Grayson still has to stick with him. Right. It's really hard. So I don't think that's bad at all. Everybody else could have done the same thing and they didn't. And those guys are still going to battle at the world champs. They're not going to celebrate a Jew. They're not going to give each other the fucking gold medal at the world champs or a major. So I thought it was great. I think you're always going to have that. You're always going to have teammates, sponsors, whatever, root for each other, but still healthy set of competition.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah. I mean, every racing from auto racing to track to everything has that, where Matt just said, you know, somebody's out
drafting off people or whatever.
Pack's going to try to catch up. They're going to work as a team to catch up to, So I think that's always going to be there. But anyway.
I also think this is, and I can't help but wonder if part of this maybe HYROX's purpose. We've got people who just punch their times and then sit on them. They don't show up. We never see Hunter racing. We never see, you know, and granted, Meg's been out because of injury, but she's also dialed back on her racing. We don't see Rich Ryan racing much, right? We don't see a lot of these guys out there racing a lot. And this new system is going to get them out there. Like, there are going to be more elites at races. We're going to see them places, which I think is only good for the brand and only good for the sport. I can't help but wonder if they're heading that direction on purpose.
I think it might be good for the brand and bad for the sport.
Bad for the sport, how?
I think you're going to have athlete burnout. You're going to have more injuries when athletes have to race more and stuff. I know that I've talked about a lot of elites that say they don't want more workload, they want less.
Yeah, five. Yeah,
well, that's why they're not doing it. Right?
Five might be too many. 3 or 4 sounds better, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, when you make it, the smaller you make it, the less variables you have. But 5. When I first heard 5, I did bristle a little bit.
That's a lot. Well, especially if you're racing those 5 races to get into the 4 majors and a world championship. That's 10 races a year.
And let's say hypothetically you live in America and there's nothing within hours of you. Whereas
that's 10 races a year is a lot.
Yeah, now most people won't be having to race 10, but even but I agree, it's a lot. It's too. I think it's too much. But
yeah, well, look, if you want to get 5 wins, right? So you need 5 good placings. That's 5 races. Then you race in the 4 majors. That's 4 races.
That's
you don't have to do all the majors.
But once you get into a major, your major counts toward, right? Like the majors count as races too, which can be here or there if you think that's right or wrong. But And I'm on the fence until I see all the math. There's just a
Well,
lot
so
of
it is. It's all speculation at this point. But I guess just from that list that we got from Ian's post, it just feels like until these Elite 15s can catch up with their wins, they're going to have to show up to races and clock wins to be able to get the points. We may see people in the Elite 15 who we've never seen before because they've been racing more and they've been winning more.
I bet it's weighted enough that you're not going to see, you might see one of those people, like the woman you mentioned who may be a great person in Taipei. She might be 15th, but we're not going to see half the field.
It may actually make it even harder to get into the majors.
Maybe.
So that's what I mean when I got to see all the math and see the numbers.
Well, they should consult Dave, and they didn't. That's all.
I think that they've probably consulted some pretty smart people on this one. I would hope.
Well, and there's precedent in other sports that they'll be using, I'm sure.
Well, apparently there is a board. I think Anthony's on it, but we don't really have a lot of clarity. Like I think from what I've heard, it's Anthony, like a person from every region of the world, right?
Something like that, yeah.
But this is all speculation. This is not fact. Don't sue me. But then that board, are they just reporting to Matt Locke? Is there a board of athletes and a board of HYROXs? And does Matt just still do whatever he wants because it's their company? Like, I don't know how all that works, and I would love to know.
Well, I don't think that this would be in a Matt Locke's decision to make this to approve the system anyway. He might give his input, but I don't think it's a him that's going to give the final say.
But again, I think the fact that they're at least listening to, I know that was always a complaint over in the OCR world, was like, and I think there was a couple half-assed cracks at athlete boards, but it never really happened. So I like that they're at least trying.
Yep. It's better than not having one.
All right. I think we got it all. I think we should wrap up our year.
Yep. Yeah.
I'm glad we provided people with some content this week, just because there is so little this time of year. You just get to where you need something. Dave, I've listened to all your stuff.
Got another one coming today later. We'll record today. So good.
And maybe by next week we start getting some actual information. We don't have to speculate anymore about some of these things. ATHX.
What do you got coming out this week, Dave?
Oh, we're just doing our year end. Just
okay. Well, you're not allowed to mention anything Cheryl said.
I won't.
Okay.
Nothing Cheryl said happened.
Happy New Year, guys.
Take care.